Hi and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to do an I-cord bind off, which is also sometimes called an applied I-cord. Okay, we've got some stitches on the needle and we're going to do an I-cord bind off. And you can do an I-cord bind off with normally either 3 or 4 stitches. We're going to do this one with 3, but the procedure's the same either way. It's just one more stitch that you knit before you attach. So the first thing that we need to do is to cable cast on 3 stitches. So we will do that. And the cable cast on, you stick your needle in between the last 2 stitches, wrap the yarn around, pull a loop through, and then you slip that loop onto the needle. So that's 1. Two, and then 1 more for the 3rd. Okay, so we've got 3 new stitches on. This stitch was the last stitch of the regular knitting. So we'll knit the first 2 stitches, and then with the 3rd stitch we will knit it together with the first stitch of the knitting. So that will join those 2 together. 1 stitch is bound off. We slip all 3 stitches back to the left needle and repeat. We're going to do this all the way across. So we'll knit 1, knit 2, and then we'll knit the last stitch of the I-cord together with the next stitch in the knitting and knit those 2 together. Repeat. We slip all 3 stitches back to the left hand needle. We're starting to see a bit of I-cord right there. The further you go, the more visible that will be. So we knit 2, and then we'll knit 2 together, the next stitch of the knitting with the last stitch of the I-cord. And then put all 3 stitches back on the needle. Sorry, sometimes I get a little off center. There we go. Let me do a few more here and we'll take another look. Knit 2 and then knit 2 together, the last stitch of the I-cord and the next stitch of the knitting. And there we go. We're really seeing an I-cord bind off on the top edge of the knitting. We'll do a few more. I have not a full ball of yarn here, just a little bit, so hopefully I won't run out. And I don't think I will because I don't have that many stitches on the needle. Slip all 3 back, knit 3, knit 2 together, slip all 3 back to the needle. I think you're beginning to get it. Probably didn't take you that long. It's not a hard process. It does take a little bit longer than a regular bind off, but it gives you such a pretty edge that it's well worth the time and the extra yarn that it takes. So there we go. There's the bind off. And here's what it looks like from the back. It tends to be pretty elastic, so it's rarely tighter than the rest of your knitting, which is always a good thing. We'll see if we can just complete this real quick so you can see the whole thing. Slipping all 3 back. So we're knit 2, knit 2 together. And if you did 4 stitches rather than 3, then you'd be knitting 3, knit 2 together. Knit 2, Knit 2 together. I've only got 2 stitches left after this, so we will make it all the way through. Yay! Okay, this will be our last one. We're putting all 3 stitches back on the needle. Just got 4 stitches left altogether. So we're going to knit 2, knit 2 together, and then we'll put all 3 back on. And we can just bind these off, but I'm going to knit the last 2 together because I don't want as much extra yarn there for the bind off. There we go. You can look at it from the back. These last stitches were a little bit loose, and I think that was from the swatch. It's not really a result of the I-cord. Okay. That is an applied I-cord or an I-cord bind off. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.